Ahoy viewers from near and far, we are in Game 3 of the first round of 16 match here at the Team Liquid Star League. I am Day9, joined by none other than Chill himself. We of course have been a casting duo for some time now, harkening back to the wonderful days of Team Liquid Star League number 2. We were just talking about one of the epic little funnies that occurred from that tournament. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that, Chill?
Well, back in TSL number 2, we unfortunately just before the finals displayed the final results on the stream, so that was a bit of a mistake that's been fixed up. So let's not have a repeat of that in TSL number 3.
Oh man, it was so great, and Team Liquid just posted, no, it was just swamp gas. It wasn't, don't worry about it. Either way, we do have, at the north position, Liquid Tyler spawning as the red Protoss. Chrono boosting his probes away, will likely be going for some sort of long-term-ish play. In the bottom, we have Prae.ThorZaIN as the blue Terran.
And you know, I'm looking at the message log and just realizing back in Game 1 we had a have fun from ThorZaIN and a good luck from Tyler. As he's lost, he's become less and less talkative, now having no response. And I don't get the feeling that that's, ThorZaIN needling Tyler. I just feel like he's actually just a nice guy, just saying have fun. And here we have Tyler. Is he scouting close positions, which is not possible?
He's checking to make sure that it was hosted on the right map, Chill.
Just double checking. No big deal.
It ain't no thing. We do see that Barracks going down for ThorZaIN, who's going to be scouting, and it looks like, he's going, to the correct positions, but as usual, good, safe player, checking the center of the map, making sure there is no proxy at all, and now Tyler moving down the left side of the map, going to run into ThorZaIN, who is not doing any sort of no-gas expand, but interestingly, only has 2 in his geyser.
Oh, now adding the third, so he's got that completely fixed. He's got his gateway up, not producing anything. Metalopolis, a bit of a long rush distance, and being some
killed the probe. Chill. I didn't know if you
first
were in
blood
the same spot I did, but that's definitely going to be, at the very least, a little uneasing for Tyler. Tyler almost never makes little tiny mistakes. He will never forget a pylon. He will never forget to build probes. And if you lose a probe, when that is your strength, that can be very, very unsettling. You see, ThorZaIN is going for Marauders, still only has 2 in that refinery, just doing a very, very gentle amount of mining there, and we'll be throwing down a command center after that first Marauder. Very nicely timed to build.
Yeah, I like the set of ThorZaIN. He's confirmed that it is cross positions. He's still got that SCV in Tyler's main base, so he's well aware of what Tyler is doing. He sees the double gas, he sees the gateway being chrono boosted, and Tyler, is he playing a little bit too safe here? That's a bit of a rhetorical question. Not a bit, it is a rhetorical question, because I feel like he is. ThorZaIN is scouting that it's cross positions and immediately expanding, putting down a bunker and playing safe, and then doing these 2 base attacks. Tyler, getting the robotics out, getting 2 gateways, possibly a third, I'm going to wait to see, but I'd really like to see him. This is Game 3, it's all on the line, it's cross positions, let's go ahead and throw that Nexus down.
ThorZaIN, in the meantime, is playing a perfectly timed build, has been popping guys in and out of gas at the left for some time, got a Marauder, immediately got a Reaper, and now, right as the Reaper finishes, begins making Marines and gets stimmed. The Reaper at the north position, poking around, making sure there's no third base going up, and of course Tyler is building 3 gateways and a robo before deciding to do so. Just like you were saying, Chill, that is such an extremely safe way to open. I don't know how much I like it.
This is a repeat of Game 1 where ThorZaIN got his command center up very quickly before Tyler, except in this position, he's actually built the command center out of his expansion before turning it into an orbital. He's already mining there, and Tyler, has nothing. He's just now dropping the Nexus. Redonkulously safe here as he's got that first observer flying out. Got to fly quite a ways before he gets into ThorZaIN's main base. And I'm going to be watching Tyler very closely to see once this observer gets into his main base, what is his immediate reaction? Does he take that third base? And look at this Reaper, gonna run and putting on ThorZaIN's vision. He sees the expansion and then runs home, and that's it. So now the observer flying into ThorZaIN's main base. What is Tyler gonna do from this point forward?
Well, I mean, in general, I like the fact that he's opening up Zealot Sentry, very easy to control space, but more importantly, it's a very cheap, lean army, so you can easily save up money to do other things, such as a double forge build. Look at this chill. You know, I love the fact that Tyler is going for a double forge, and as you were saying before, you gotta do the build that you have practiced. No matter how much we can criticize Tyler for doing a safe build, I've seen Tyler do this build many times. He loves doing it, he knows the ins and outs, and he's essentially sacrificing an early game advantage to go for that late game play where he's very confident. So he's going to be getting that +1/+1 and trying to extend the length of the game out, and I think very fortunately for Tyler, we see his opponent is going for a big Marine Marauder style. If you heard an ooh, because there was a scan and ThorZaIN picked off the observer.
Yeah, very nice, bringing in all his Marines to scan and take that out. And I feel like this is different from Game 1 because Tyler flew that observer and saw that the majority of the production facilities here are barracks. So it's going to be an infantry-based army here, as opposed to Game 1 where it was Thor-based with a little sprinkle of Hellions and Marines in there. Now, got both of those upgrades going. Very nice by Tyler. Supplies favoring ThorZaIN, but only by 4. And here comes the Gateway Explosion, putting down 2 more, bringing him up to 5 warp gates eventually, pumping out more units, evening up the supplies. Let's go ahead and take a look at the income tab to look at the harvesters. 40 for Tyler versus 43 for ThorZaIN. You know, this is a really just, you know, gentleman's game where they sit back, build up, and then crash in the middle because ThorZaIN still has this Reaper out. That's the only unit really on the other side of the map, and Tyler has this observer which can't attack. So, you know, just a friendly little little trade here.
And there's the Reaper hopping in, does manage to pick off 3 probes, doesn't get a 4th. And there's again the trademark, very nice force field placement by Tyler. Tyler almost done with those 1/1 upgrades. Would behoove him to get that Twilight Council so he could begin 2/2. Hasn't started gas, guys, at his natural expansion. That means he's either going to have to make a lot of zealots or essentially not get the 2/2 very quickly. So a little bit of a surprising result. Yeah, wow, Tyler is very broke on the gas, so maybe he'll end up going for the 2/2. Either way, this is very like Tyler. I've seen him do this build so many times and always hits that 2/2 right on the mark.
Right. Meanwhile, ThorZaIN is pressing out. He's got Stim now getting the combat shields production tab, showing a long list of items for ThorZaIN. Meanwhile, almost nothing for Tyler. Just a pylon and Twilight Council on the way. ThorZaIN stimming 1 Marine and moving forward. I really like that. He's going to scout. And there are a lot of Zealots here and a few sentries. And just tickling that Marine as it stims to check out the 3rd base. Going to see there's nothing there. And that's going to cause ThorZaIN to retreat back to his natural. No reason to attack 2 base versus 2 base. That's kind of an amateur mistake that we saw back in the Brood War, or excuse me, in the StarCraft 2 beta days. And look at the amount of Chrono Boost saved up for Tyler. He's actually got 200 energy as he's just waiting for that Twilight Council to finish.
And now the Twilight Council is done. Let's see what he ends up researching. It looks like he's getting the +2 armor first. Almost has enough gas for the +2 weapon, which no doubt will be popping down shortly. He now has enough money for it. Chill. He has enough money for it. I'm literally staring directly at the forge. Nothing is happening. There's an army moving across the map, not taking my eyes off that forge. And there it does!
Oh,
it's going down. He's doing the double boost. I am satisfied. I've now returned to Tyler's army, and I'm watching him move across the map. Per usual, we're seeing the Stalkers lead the fray. Very common against Zerg, but against Protoss, it's a little bit risky as those Marauders are so potent. And Tyler moving very far forward. Would be surprised to see him try to make an attack right here. But he's actually gonna go for it. I don't know. Where's the 3rd from Tyler? He should absolutely be taking a 3rd right now, throwing down some force fields, locking out those Marines and Marauders. Where is the 3rd chill? Why is Tyler not taking a 3rd base right now? He even has the freedom to take the gold if he wanted to.
Right. Things look just a little bit off for Tyler. You know, he's done this build against Jinro before, and typically he moves in with a lot of sentries to block up the bunkers, but that comes when the 2/2 hits, if he wants to do it off 2 bases. Now deciding it's not time to attack, dropping a pylon. Looks like he's going to take the 3rd, but it's just a little bit late. Look at ThorZaIN making Vikings, and he's actually got them landed, so he can just help to deal with those Zealots. Vikings actually doing decently on the ground, despite what a lot of people think they actually do all right. And meanwhile, Charge not being researched at the Twilight Council, it is instead being Blink. I find that a little bit surprising. There's a lot of Zealots on the field which would benefit against those Marine Marauders, especially with the amount of sentries that can force field and just lock those infantry units.
Either way, plus 3 armor going down, so as long as Tyler's making gateway units, he's making at least pretty good decisions. I will say, though, Chill, I completely agree that things look a little off for Tyler. That third base is a little bit late for Tyler. Generally, it is a planned component that pops right down. Generally, we see that Twilight Council popping down right on time. Where is the charge when Tyler really does not have that many stalkers out on the map? And meanwhile, ThorZaIN slamming down 3 more barracks at the back, already has those 2 starports, giving him Vikings and medevacs, and ThorZaIN is going to be pushing out with a big force soon.
Yeah, and you know, when Tyler does this build, he actually transitions into Colossi often as well, which you wouldn't think. You have the Twilight Council that lends itself towards moving towards Psionic Storm, but somehow he transitions into it in a way that I don't think is possible for anyone else, but he's not doing that in this situation either. Just got the robotics facility not making anything and continue to make Warpgate units. ThorZaIN out on the map with a lot of Vikings, which can't do too much as there's no Colossi. Now scanning and seeing that it's only gateway units out there. The upgrades 2-2 for Tyler, and the upgrades for ThorZaIN also 2-2.
Yeah, ThorZaIN doing a little bit of upgrade rushing himself. Had to actually have beaten Tyler to get to that point because Tyler has the proto boost. His ups are faster, and there's the engagement coming up. There's the Guardian Shield going down, but no charge at all. Some nice force fields get thrown down, with ThorZaIN trying to make a very big arc of stalkers from Tyler trying to get into the front. No charge at all. The slow Zealots trying to make their way up, but they are so slow. More Zealots popping out right now. We do see more gateways, Robos, Immortals getting produced. Tyler with the blink up on the left flank trying to advance. It looks like Tyler may be able to barely end up winning this. The sentries on the right side do end up dealing a ton of damage to those Vikings. Tyler's probably going to have to pull back, and oh, it looks like ThorZaIN is going to be able to break through.
Wow, very unexpected. ThorZaIN continuing to pressure. Charge is not done yet. Oh my god, Charge takes forever. Almost completing now, but ThorZaIN is dealing so much damage, pulling down these pylons. The supply is almost double for ThorZaIN as he continues to take out gateway units. Tyler just running away. Charge now complete, but ThorZaIN is rallying in so many units, and with 2-2 complete, he's equal to the task with these gateway units. Now going to work sieging on the third base here. Stim going on yet again, dancing back and forth, and Immortal is out, trying to flank but getting taken out, and I think this is the end of Liquid Tyler's run as ThorZaIN is pressing in, gonna take down the third base. Tyler has no outs left.
And it looks like the Nexus is about to fall, and there it goes down. All the probes trying to find somewhere to run, but to no avail. Tyler now has 2 robotic facilities in his main, trying to churn out as many Immortals as he can. We see the unit count from ThorZaIN, though, is through the roof, and in moments, he will be at 3-3. He's taking a third base on the right side. We've seen 3 completely different styles out of ThorZaIN. Mass Thor, a big tank Marine Marauder play, and now here with the standard of standards, looks like there was, oh my goodness, Tyler just departed from the game.
And we've got a...
Looks like Tyler tried... We're getting an information from the ref that the drop screen came up when Tyler tried to leave, and he ended up getting disconnected from the game. But as we can see, Tyler was seconds from GGing, and that means that ThorZaIN now has 2 incredible wins under his belt. One over Fruit Dealer, and now another 3-0 against Tyler. And again, to emphasize, in every single game, ThorZaIN did something completely different. And even in that last game, everyone's seen the usual Marine Marauder composition. And you and I were talking non-stop about that Forge upgrade build from Tyler. But no, it looked like his opponent, ThorZaIN, actually out-upgraded him. Was matched at 2-2. It was incredible.
And you know, Day, as you mentioned, that is an extremely difficult opponent to prepare for. If you're trying to counter a style and you watch these replays, as ThorZaIN's next opponent is either going to be MC or White Raw, which is going to be another TVP. If you're trying to prepare for ThorZaIN and you see he can play 3 different styles and he can play them all equally well, that's exceedingly difficult to prepare for, as opposed to preparing for a player, say, like Adele Scott, where you know he's going to make a lot of gateway units. You can kind of mentally prepare for yourself, prepare for that. So ThorZaIN looks like he has everything he needs to be a champion. He's already taken down a GSL champion, and he's also taken down a TSL champion, and that is scary because he's done it without dropping a single game in the TSL3 thus far.
The only person I've ever actually seen beat him is Adele Scott, and even then it was not really a close series overall. ThorZaIN seems indestructible at this point in time. And like you said, Chill, the big question is, who is his next round opponent going to be? Well, we'll find out literally now, because we're going to be going directly into OGS MC versus Duckload White Ra. And that is a series that has a lot of eyes watching it, because White Ra managed to take MC out, as you said, in that GSL World Championship League. And White Ra did so with a crazy Warp Prism play, which I don't think anyone has really seen, and definitely MC was not familiar with when you saw all of MC's units walk right to White Ra's front, and then suddenly a bunch of units warp right into his mineral line. Very, very cool play, as Duckload really is a pioneer of that Warp Prism play.
Right, and you know the thing that really makes this exciting for me, there's been a lot of questions with cross-server play, but the fact that they're both in Korea means there's no excuses. This is it. I mean, they're both playing on the best conditions that there could be, and we've already seen them go against each other in the GOM TV World Invitational, and it was a series to remember. So hopefully we can see another amazing series to remember times 5, because this is going to be a best of 5. We're going to start game number 1 on Metalopolis. Game number 2 going to go over to the familiar Zelnega Caverns. Then we'll be on Crevasse, and if necessary, the giant map Terminus RE, followed by another pretty big map, Tal'Darim Altar. So we've got a nice map pool set, and I'm excited for game number 1. We've all seen Metalopolis. These players are exceedingly familiar with it, so we should see a very comfortable style from both of them.
Yeah, and the thing to note about MC is that he has a really big personality. He has won 2 GSL titles, an incredibly strong Protoss. But keep in mind, he won those 2 matchups, the 2 GSL finals, against the Terran and against a Zerg. So he has yet to have some huge Protoss wins under his belt. In general, we see MC doing the usual 4 Warp Gate aggression, but we've seen that Duckload Ra is quite good at holding off that style, often planning to beat up directly against it. And we see him favoring more probes and some of those bigger units, the Sentries and the Stalkers, over the Zealots, which are the more common base unit of that 4 Warp Gate. So we will see if Duckload's going to be able to hold it off. I would anticipate that the entire game is going to come down to how Duckload ends up responding and planning for these 4 Warp Gates, as we do know that Duckload is the kind of player who likes to use a wide variety of strategy, using his millions and millions of hours of gaming experience. For any of you who didn't know, Duckload is one of those people who plays 40 to 50 games a day when he's in the mood, and the only reason he can't is he was recently married.
and you know, White Ra is the kind of guy who's up for a challenge. He's not scared of playing MC. I guarantee you that. I've seen him play at IEF when he had to take down Boxer on the stage, and he did it to the roaring cheers of foreigners, and it was one of the best, probably the best live StarCraft I've ever seen was White Ra versus Boxer. So after the TSL, you should go Google those. I'm sure they're up on YouTube or wherever they are. It was just an incredible series, and he's got a big personality, as we saw in the GOM World Invitational, and he's already taken down MC, so he's got that comfort behind him. He's been in Korea for a while. He should be settled, not jet lagged. This should be a match to remember, and very prime conditions going into this game.
So without any further ado, ladies and gents, let's get ready for the second round of 16 match here at the Team Liquid Star League between OGS, MC, and Duckload White Ra. The winner will be going up against ThorZaIN, so don't go anywhere. We'll be starting right after this.